Do these three things to get your first order on Fiverr within 30 days. Hi, I'm Matt. I'm a top and pro-rated seller on Fiverr, and in this video, I'm going to show you exactly the three things that do you need to do to get your first order on Fiverr. And by the end of the video, you'll know exactly what to do. And I also have a little bonus for you. So let's jump right into it. All right, now, if you want to learn exactly how to do these things step by step and are looking for someone to guide you, I've got you covered. I've created a completely free school community that you can join where we're talking about the exact three steps, and I'm showing you step by step how I would do it, how I would secure my first order on Fiverr within 30 days if I would start from scratch. So join the school community, it's completely for free. You can go through the course right here, which is massive, where I'm showing you exactly how to do your niche research, set up your gig properly, set your profile properly, and secure your first order on Fiverr within 30 days. Thanks for watching, and I see you guys next time. Basically, just start searching for what you're trying to offer, and then take a deep look at what this niche, what this market on Fiverr looks like to make a judgment basically if it's worthwhile making a gig for that niche. So, for example, let's say you are a logo designer. You can start very simple with the market research. You just go on Fiverr.com, go into the search bar, and then you type in stuff like logo design. So these are the search results you're going to get, and as you can see, Fiverr is also already giving you different types of options that you might want for logo design, so minimalist, hand-drawn, vintage, and so forth. But basically, these are the search results of people that are offering logo design. And you want to look out for some basic metrics, right? First of all, the results will tell you how much competition you'll face. So here we have over 110,000 results, which means there is a lot of competition in logo design, and just in general, the more competition there is, the harder it will be to break through and get your first order. So keep that in mind when choosing your niche. Secondly, you should look at sellers, and you should specifically look at how many reviews sellers have, right? So for example, here's a seller with 460 reviews, here's a seller with 656 reviews. We have sellers with over 1,000 reviews. And just in general, basically, Fiverr cuts off the exact review amount after 1,000. So this seller might even have 2,000 reviews or something like that. This seller also have over 1,000 reviews. So basically, what you're looking for here is okay, if there are a lot of sellers with over 1,000 reviews, this means that there are also a lot of buyers that make this possible, which is a good sign, right? Because you want to be in a market where there's a lot of demand, so you can profit from that and get as many orders as possible. And then the last basic thing I would look for when judging a niche is to just click on one of these gigs with a lot of reviews. This seller is also top rated. And then Fiverr will show your orders in queue. Well, I've never seen this actually. 1,000 orders in queue. That's kind of insane. But basically, if you see on a gig that it has 1,000 orders in queue, obviously there's a lot of demand, right? And so seeing this orders in queue tells you that actually these reviews are not just coming from the past, but there is an active market where buyers are constantly buying, and this is a great thing to do. And this is a great niche to pursue, right? And so these are some basic things that you want to look out for when doing niche research. And then basically in the second step, once you've decided on a niche, you can also look out for the keywords in that niche to find out basically what buyers are searching to get those gigs displayed, right? For example, if you go back here into the search bar and put in logo design again, we will get some auto suggestions from Fiverr, and this means these are search terms that buyers are actively looking for. But let me actually be sure. If I go logo design, yeah, these are other search terms buyers are looking for, right? Restaurant logo design, real estate logo design. And basically, you can go in here do some basic niche research to get a good idea of, is there active demand for this niche? Are people making money, right? And is there a lot of competition? So that's the first thing you have to do when wanting to get your first on Fiverr, is doing the niche research. The second thing you need to do is the gig setup. So once you've decided on a niche, what you need to do is to properly set up your gig. And so I'm showing you my main gig here as an example. I'm doing English-German translations. And what I mean by proper gig setup is you need to have a gig title that will make buyers want to click, right? So for example, I will naturally translate English to German and German to English. The naturally is often what buyers are looking for with translations. They want translation to sound real and not made by a machine, right? So basically you need to have an enticing gig title for the gig. Then you should have a gig video and enticing thumbnail. So basically I can show you my thumbnail here where you can just clearly see my face, and it doesn't have a lot of text, but it's very easy to grasp immediately what I'm offering and what buyers will be getting. And I've also got a gig video in here, which I can't see right now, but basically if we go back to the search results, a gig video is... Do any of these have a gig video? There's nobody here with a gig video. That's kind of interesting. So basically a gig video is a video that's that will be played if buyers hover over your gig thumbnail, and it's just another way for you to present yourself and stick out from the competition. So very interesting. None of these people here have a gig video, which I think is a huge missed opportunity, but it is what it is. So you should have an enticing gig title, you need a gig video, and you also have packages that need to be clearly labeled, right? So basically, gig packages is what tells buyers, look, these are the different kinds of tiers I'm offering for you, and they need to be clearly described, and it needs to be very clear what buyers are getting, right? So basically, you need a good gig title, you need a good gig thumbnail, the packages need to be clear, and then very important, I personally told you to do the niche research first, because if you've done a niche research first, this means you know the search keywords of your niche, and this means you can incorporate those keywords into your gig title and also into your gig description, which makes it easier for Fiverr to rank your gig, show it to the right buyers, and which makes it easier to get that first order. And there are also other things that you should look out for when setting up your gig. You should have a portfolio in here and frequently asked questions. Basically, the more you fill out your gig and the better you set it up, the more likely it is that you will get your first order on Fiverr. So that's number 2. We had niche research, gig setup, and then finally, to get your first order on Fiverr, your profile needs to be set up properly. And so if I show you the public view of my profile here, you can see I'm a pro and top rated seller. And basically, everything should be filled out here properly. First of all, you need a professional profile image where you can clearly see your face, where you're smiling, right, and where there isn't a lot of distraction in the background. So for example, here I've removed the background. Secondly, you should have an intro video on your profile, meaning there would be a video right here where a profile image is, where you have a chance to present yourself to the buyer. Now I don't have one at the moment because I used to have one, and I'm going to remake it, so that's why it's missing right here. But it's super important for the first impression. Secondly, you should have a clear tagline, which is this sentence right here, which tells buyers exactly what you're doing and what they can get from you in terms of your service, right? And it makes it so much easier for buyers to see what you are about and what you're offering. And then just as you should have a great gig description, you should also have an enticing profile description that tells buyers what you're doing. If you have social proof, put this in here. So for example, for me, I have over 500 5-star reviews. And then because I'm also partnered with a social media agency, I mentioned that they have served over 300 businesses, right? Basically, you should tell the buyer what you're doing, give some social proof, and in the end also end with a call to action. And then something else about the profile which can be seen right now in the public view is here in the editing. There's some other sections that you should fill out, right? Portfolio is a big one. You should definitely upload a portfolio if you have one of your past work. This goes a long way to getting your first buyer this way. Very, very important. And then you should definitely fill out these sections of education, certifications, Fiverr Learn badges, and skills and expertise. The more you fill out your profile, the more you're signaling buyers, look, I'm a real seller, I'm taking this seriously, I'm trustworthy, and you should check out my gig and order from me, right? Basically, to summarize, when you do your niche research properly, you see if you have an active market, you do your keyword research, you set up your gig properly with a great title and thumbnail and gig description and so forth, and if you set up your profile properly, all of these things, they don't only add to each other, but basically they multiply with each other to give a great impression to first-time buyers, and this makes it very, very likely that you will soon receive your first order on Fiverr. Now, if you want to learn exactly how to do these things step by step and are looking for someone to guide you, I've got you covered. I've created a completely free school community that you can join where we're talking about the exact 3 steps, and I'm showing step by step how I would do it, how I would secure my first order on Fiverr within 30 days if I would start from scratch. So join the school community, it's completely for free. You can go through the course right here, which is massive, where I'm showing you exactly how to do your niche research, set up your gig properly, set up your profile properly, and secure your first order on Fiverr within 30 days. Thanks for watching, and I see you guys next time.